Hi, Bizzy here. Be love, be light, believe. Thank you for joining me here today on another episode of the Bizzy Show, where I go out into nature and talk to the trees. Today's been quite an eventful day. I have actually been to a few places, and I intentionally went somewhere for a walk. And when I was finished there, I had the urge to drive and go somewhere else. And I ended up somewhere I've never been, which is always one of my favorite things to do when I go on a wander drive or a wander walk. There's something to be said for exploring something new, whether it be a path or place, situation, a person, a new hobby, anything really. I feel like a lot of people out there with all this noise and commotion going on energetically and spiritually, and obviously in the regular world that people identify with still. And at least for me, when I go on a wander walk or a wander drive to places I've never been, it forces my brain to go into this whole other place. And the things that are going on around me and stressing me out, or stuff in the world stressing me out, people stress me, anyway, whatever's going on, it sort of all kind of disappears when there's new, because it's like the brain wants that new information. It gets tired of that old redundant stuff running in the hamster wheel. In addition to wander walking today, I took a lot of pictures. I'll probably post those. Something else weird happened. I don't really know how to explain it, other than one of my psychic experiences where I tapped into something. I'm walking and I found this stone structure, definitely really old, here in this place that I am. And as soon as I put my hands on it to touch it, it was like I was drawn into the energy of the object, and I could sense things that had occurred around this object at a different time. And I was also sensing more of things that occurred here in this area. Not necessarily right where that object was, but in this vicinity, in this acreage, I guess you could say, in this park that I'm in. And it really affected me. Like, I started, it was really weird. I can only handle so much of what I was, like, I guess, receiving psychically. So I started to cry, and I had to walk away from that object. It took me like at least 10 minutes for it to wane. And as I was walking through the park and up this hill I came across this tree here and got even more emotional. So I continued on until I found a place for me to sit and get my breathing back to normal. It's really weird. So I calmed down because I did some breathing, heavy breathing. I mean, calm breathing, because I was heavy breathing because I climbed this hill. And I was like, oh, okay, that was weird. But then I started to walk back down this hill, and I could feel it again. It was like, as soon as I walked past a certain like threshold of these trees, it was there again. And I'm not quite sure, like, if spirits are trying to get through, or if it's the trees, or something somehow attached to that stone structure I saw. I don't know. I'm still kind of exploring some of my psychic gifts, and seeing as how I figured it all out by myself and not had any help along the way. Well, not really. It's not like I've had someone training me. I've had to just figure it out and listen to my guides and all of my intuition from the inside. So I'm wondering, I'm recording this because whether or not I post this or not is for me, so that I remember coming here. Well, other than the pictures, but it was really important that it was weird, man. There's that goose honking down there. There's a goose down there in the duck pond. And it's a missing part of its beak, and that made me cry. It's been an emotional day today. I cannot even. Anyway, I'm curious as to see whether I feel anything when I walk back down here. I don't know if I want to go back over there where that object was, because it's sort of creeping me out. This journey, man. The spiritual journey, and this whole new world of things that I've been blessed to be given the gift to see things, hear things, sense things, feel things. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's my purpose. To sense, to be, to tap into the wisdom of the trees and other places or objects so that I can connect dots and maybe hopefully help people along the way. I mean, what else would be the point if not to help others? Help raise the frequency of this planet, because there's too many people suffering that don't need to be suffering. There's too many people hungry. There's no reason for them to be hungry. I mean, I don't want to go into any spiel about any particular thing, but, and I think I've said something similar to this along the way on my journey, is that we have everything we need so that everyone could have their basic needs met on the entire planet. And then population wouldn't be a problem if things were properly delegated and properly shared, instead of making people sick for money. I really want to go there, but this is where they're... Alright, I feel like these trees, they wouldn't let me walk by. I was just gonna walk back down and go back to where I came from, back to my car. And it was like, I'm getting this nudge. No, you can't walk back to your car until you record this video. So Signs are everywhere for anyone out there looking for clues. They're everywhere. All you have to do is pay attention. Pay attention to the signs and they will guide you in the direction that you need to go. Feel the changes in your energy, in your body, as you navigate your way to your end goals, where you're going. And if you haven't figured that out yet, if you haven't figured out what like your mission is or what your purpose is, then just, you're probably just in a place where that's what you're supposed to figure out. So until you figure that out, just keep walking. Keep pushing forward in baby steps, doing something positive. And eventually, the answers will come to you. It's just a matter of getting your brain in that place where it's quiet, where you can actually listen to what you need to listen to without all that nonsense interfering. And right now, there's a lot of nonsense interfering in all sorts of different ways. I will say this though. As much as my path has led me to be alone in a way where there aren't other people around, I've never been alone. They go with me everywhere I go. I basically have a spiritual bodyguard team. Everywhere I go. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for this lifetime. It's a weird one for sure. Different than many of the rest. This one though, this is a lifetime where I can actually affect change while I'm still here. So, anyone out there thinking they're gonna get in my way of pursuing my dreams, you gotta deal with my spirit team too. I don't really have to do anything other than follow my guides and to do what I'm supposed to do. Staying in my own lane, because that's what I've been guided to do. I just do what I'm guided to do. I've been living like this, I don't even, in bits and pieces throughout my whole life. There have been times where I've made a choice based on my internal guidance, and those are always the choices that get me further along. It's the choices that I made to please other people that hindered me in my growth and in my life. Of course, that's what they trained me to do. I'm not trained anymore. I unprogrammed the programming. And God's got my back.